y'all are the most valuable tool we've had come along yet, because here's the word that we're getting in a nutshell. You know, the House budget did have a 1.6% COLA. Y'all all know that. You have your talking points for today. The Senate didn't have anything, and here's the problem. Sometimes when one side has something and the other doesn't, the expectation is that in conference they'll at least meet in the middle. That's not what we're hearing. The Senate is fairly dug in to the idea that the retiree COLA is an unfunded liability of almost $700 million. The treasurer is who they're telling me is telling them that. So they're basically sort of skirting responsibility a bit by saying, hey, the treasurer told us this, and we can't put this unfunded liability on the taxpayers. That assumption that it's a $700 million unfunded liability can only be true if their intention as a body at the legislature is not to fund the system at all for the next 12 years. And by funded, I mean the employer contribution, the actuarial required contribution. So if they say to you, oh, it's some huge unfunded liability, you can't do it, you know to say to them, that's wrong unless you're telling me you refuse to take care of retirees from here going forward. Because that's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way what they're saying is true.
I'm one of the sponsors of Senate Bill 834, which was a 1.5% COLA. Now, it was not received well on the Senate side, but there's a 1.6 in the House budget.
Which we support.
Absolutely. So what will happen, the House will not concur with the Senate, and they'll throw it into the conference committee, and the conferees will get together, and they will hack up the deal, and they'll gather up, and they'll meet somewhere in the middle. So I can't tell you it's going to be 0, and I can't tell you it's going to be 1.6, but I can tell you something's going to happen.
But you know, we're looking for this 1.6 COLA, and we need it, and I really feel like you've let us down. I really do, and I'm disappointed very much.
You know, I filed a bill for a 1.5% COLA.
Well, we're looking for the 1.6.
Can we count on you to support us?
Yes. Here's my bill. I've already supported you, but I have an uphill battle to try to convince others to support.
Yeah, and I know your folks have been told that by the Treasurer's Office that this would create something like a $700 million liability. That is really only true if the legislator does not do their part for the next 12 years. So if the legislator will step up and do the right thing, which they have not done. Retirees here, I'm a new retiree. There's some of these folks who've been retired for years, have lost 10% to the cost of living, 10.5% over the last 6 years, because 2% in COLAs over 6 years is insane, and active employees haven't done a whole lot better.
We are having to go out and get part-time jobs in order to pay our bills and things like that when we've given our time to the state. And now we are at the age where we should be able to sit back and reap some of those benefits that we put out there, and we're not getting it. We shouldn't have to go out at 70 years old and find a job to support ourselves.
I got a lot of retired state employees in my family.
Okay, then you understand. You want to keep your family happy.
Thank you.
We would appreciate your support, and push your co-senators to stand and fight their version of the budget and go to the houses, because we really need the COLA and the raised both.
But it's so good to meet y'all. Thank you for being here.
Well, we want to support us and vote no on the final budget if it does not have a COLA.
Well, my mother is a retired state employee.
Support your mama.
I know we don't have to ask for your help on the COLA because you're our buddy and champion.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Just hold the line. We can help you.
I'm gonna do my best, Thank y'all for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
I worked for the clerk's office, and
Yeah,
people didn't even know we were state employees. They thought we were county employees because we worked in the county building. But you all, know what you've done for North Carolina, and you're appreciated, every one of you. And I'm gonna fight it to the end.
I believe it's time for us to show a tangible thanks to our state employees and our retirees for our years of service. As an educator, I became a high school teacher, but I was an engineer for 10 years first. When I walked out of engineering and became a teacher in North Carolina, Northampton County, my pay went from $75,000 to $25,000. Already as teachers and educators and state employees, we take a less than market salary. And after 30 years of devoting our hard work, our sweat, paying equity into a system, and then when we retire, we can't even get a cost of living adjustment. Someone told me on the Senate floor that it was a liability. Since when did retirees become a liability? When we have been the budget's been balanced on our backs, and now it's time to compensate our state employees as well as our retirees. I just want to thank y'all for being here, and if we're together, we advocate and we fight for it, I think there should be a tangible show. For 5 years, we haven't gone without a raise. It's time for us to compensate state employees. So we're going to keep fighting, we're going to keep advocating, and your presence here says so much. Thank you. You were going to say something?
Yeah, we're a priority and we're not a liability.
A priority, not a liability.